Okay, let's build out this proof of work method that we've talked so much about. So this method takes in two parameters. It takes in the previous block's hash, and it takes in the current block's data. Now, the first thing that we want to do inside of our method is define a nonce. So we will say let nonce equal 0. Now we want to hash all of our data for the first time. So we will say let hash equal this dot hash block, and into this hash block method we are going to pass in our previous block hash, our current block data, and our nonce. Cool. So we used let here and here because both our nonce and our hash will be changing as we move through this method. So the next step that we want to do is we want to constantly run this hash block method over and over again until we get a hash generated that starts with 4 zeros. So we're going to do that with a while loop. So we will say while hash dot substring from 0 to 4 does not equal 4 zeros. We want to run whatever code we're going to put inside of here. So inside of our while loop, if this original hash that we create does not start with 4 zeros, we want to run our hash again, except this time we want to do it with a different nonce value. So the first thing we're going to do in our while loop is increment our nonce by 1. So we will say nonce plus plus. Now our nonce is equal to 1. Then we want to run our hash block method again. So we will say hash equals this dot hash block with the same data passed in. Previous block hash, current block data, and our nonce. So now we are running our hash block method again with all the same data, except this time our nonce is equal to 1 instead of 0. So that will be the first iteration of our while loop. Now we have a new hash that we just generated with this line, and if the first 4 characters of our hash still do not equal 0000, we want to generate a new hash. So our while loop will run again, and our nonce will be incremented to 2, and we will create a new hash. If that hash does not start with 4 zeros, then our while loop will run again, and our nonce will be incremented. We will generate a new hash, and we will test it again up here. If the hash does not start with 4 zeros again, we will go through our while loop again. And we will continue doing this until we wind up with a hash that starts with 4 zeros. This could take many, many times. This could take 10 times, or it could take 10,000 times, or 100,000 times. This is where all of the calculations take place. And this is why this proof of work method uses so much energy, because there are a lot of calculations being made. So we will continue going through this while loop until we generate a suitable hash that starts with 4 zeros. When we finally have the correct hash, our while loop will stop running, and at the end of our proof of work, we simply want to return our nonce. And that's it. Our proof of work method generates a bunch of different hashes by incrementing our nonce value. Then at the end of the method, we simply return the nonce value that gives us a valid hash in which the first 4 characters are 0000. So after this whole proof of work method runs, we will get the correct nonce value that we need returned from our proof of work. Our nonce is pretty much our proof. Cool. In the next video, we will test our proof of work method to make sure that it works properly, and we will dive deeper into why we return a nonce here instead of returning the hash itself. See you in the next video.